Hey, everybody. Coach Shadika here. I am excited about the video that I am making today. First off, it's been a while since I've been able to make a video for YouTube. And so I promise 2023, I'm going to try to make one at least once or twice a week for you guys. Okay. As always, hit that subscribe button so that you can stay up on when I'm dropping this new content. As well, if you are looking for coaching in the foreign exchange market, the stock market, binary options, cryptocurrency, you can always grab one of my courses. You can always grab one of those links below that will take you to a course or either my exclusive program that I have, a book that I've created. Let's get it. Let's go. So today we're going to talk about some tips. Everywhere I go, people are always asking me, whether it's in my inboxes or whether it's people that see me, or they'll message me and they'll ask, Coach, can I get some tips on how I can become a successful trader and be profitable and have more wins than losses? They always ask for what's the secret for me being able to retire under the age of 40 and just trade all day and coach people. What's the secret of the success that you've had or the success that you've been able to do with other people? And so, be honest with you, it's not no actual secret. It's just that you have to consistently do the same thing over and over and over and over and learn this skill set, back test, study, analyze in order for you to be good. Okay. But at the same time, there are some tips that you can go by that can help you be able to analyze better and also be able to see your charts, see your patterns, see your trends, all that good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. All right. So the pair that I have on the screen is GBP USD. Okay, so the first thing that I would say to someone that is trying to be a better analyzer, you want to go from beginning to an intermediate level or an intermediate to advanced or even a master trader, from a sniper to an assassin, I say, you're going to need to follow some of these rules. Okay, so the first thing is first, you have to check your news. Okay, the news for your currency pair is one of the top priorities for you to stay up on. Okay, so this is what I do. I'm going to go over what I normally do when I'm analyzing, and hopefully it'll be able to help you. All right, so I go to my news, right? Forexfactory.com. You see it there. And I check what is going on in the news for the next day, the following day, or the day of me trading. That is first, okay? Because you could have a consistent, strong uptrend going on. But it could be some news that will come that will alter your uptrend, shoot down for a couple of hundred pips, and then come right back up and take you on out. Okay, so this is mandatory. Check your news, right? Forexfactory.com is where I check my news. Now, the yellow folders, as you see, low impact. Okay, the orange folders are medium impact, right? And let's see if we can find a red folder. Okay, red folder, high impact. That lets you know if you're in that particular currency pair, you might want to get out or protect your profits. And you should be protecting your profits at any time anyway. All right, so as you see, it has the actual, the forecast, and the previous rate. And it gives you the details as well. I like forexfactory.com. Okay, so that is my first thing. I check my news. All right, now the next thing is, let me tell you straight up, I do not coach people and give them all these wishes and all these little fake little fantasies. I give them the real deal, right? And I tell them the truth. It is impossible, hear me clearly, it is impossible for you to analyze and know what is going on with every single pair on the market. You cannot analyze and know everything of every pair. It's a lot of pairs. Okay. And so I always tell my people, and this is what I do, I say, grab a few pairs. I like to say at least 2 or 3 regular pairs, and then dice, right? A metal, okay? 1 or 2 cryptos, right? Grab some of those, at least 5 to 6 pairs, learn them like the back of your hand. I always tell my people that I coach in my exclusive program, learn those currency pairs like you learn the person that you're dating, and you will be rich for the rest of your life, or wealthy, whichever one you want. Okay, you can make money for the rest of your life if you learn these currency pairs that you choose, just like you learn the person that you're dating. How do you do when you first find out someone that you're dating? You like them, you're feeling them. What do? You research about them. Sometimes you even do a background check, credit check, if you really like them, right? You ask somebody that may know them. You research. You look at their social medias. You see how their patterns, how they like, what they don't like, right? The same thing you do in your regular life, you're supposed to take those same way of thinking to the market. Okay? That is how I teach. I teach real life practices, real life things that we go through, and I put them in the market and I help my people get paid. Okay? So grab a few pairs and research them. Okay? Research them. All right. Do your seasonality charts on them. See what's going on with them. Why is it at this level? How many years it took to get to this level? What news normally affects this pair? Learn your couple of pairs that you choose. That's the first thing. Okay. Now, let's just say GBP USD is one of my pairs that I like. Okay. The what I look at when I'm starting to analyze is make sure I can tell what trend I'm in, right? Make sure I can tell what trend I am in. Now, sometimes you'll have people tell you to go to the 1 hour, 4 hour daily. But I like to see a great big old picture of what's going on in my currency pair. So sometimes I may not do the daily or the 4 hour. Sometimes I'll go up to the week. Okay, I go up to the week. Sometimes you even will have to go up to the month. If you're really trying to do some swing trading and trying to see what your path is, sometimes you're going to go all the way up. Now, let me tell you why. Because when you have currency pairs such as GBP USD, I've had my people trading this all year. Okay. When you have currency pairs that have gone to levels that you have not seen it went to in years or decades, you're going to have to go higher than the daily to see what's going on. Let's take this for example. Okay. You see GBP USD here, right? November 2022, down here where this candle wick is, right? That's the lowest it went. And the last time it was here was February 1985. If you can see down here at the bottom, February 1985. Now, let me tell you, 1985, I probably was 2 years old. Some of y'all probably wasn't even alive. Okay. So, GBP USD is telling me that, first of all, it is on a strong downtrend for the month, okay? For the monthly, right? And so I need to take that into consideration when I am trying to trade GBP USD, okay? I need to make sure I remember that this level here is a major strong support structure, and it hadn't been there since 85. So that means it took all this time to get down here. Okay. So my first thing is I need to find out what type of trend that I'm in. I mean, I need to be able to see that. And then I need to see if it's a strong up movement or a down movement. Now, some people say, how do you figure that out? Well, because if you're making lower lows, that's a strong downtrend. It's continuing down. If you're making higher highs, that is a strong uptrend. It is continuing up. How you know your trend is weak or weakening? If it it's not making any more highs or lows, and it's continuing to go to the opposite side, right? Before it breaks the major structure, you have a weak or a weakening currency pair, okay? And you need to be able to figure that out. Okay. Now that I went to my monthly, I see that this was decade levels that it went to this year. Now I can start to go back down, right, to my weekly zones to see if I can tell any more major or minor structures that I need to be aware of. Okay. You got to be able to see where your major and your minor structures are. Okay. Now let's just go here. This would be a major structure here. Why is that? Because when price likes to come here, it likes to give us some strong movement, and it's tapped this area 4 or 5 times. That is a major zone, right? And you do that for all your levels, okay? And it can be on any time frame that you can see these zones, but the higher the time frame, the higher the zone major or minor structure you'll get. If it's the higher time frame, like the daily, weekly, monthly, those, and it's hitting those times a few times, that's a major zone, right? You'll have your minor zones may be on your 5 minute to 15 minute. Why? Because first of all, it's only 5 to 15 minutes. So you cannot really hold that true like you hold your bigger time frames. Okay. So let's just say here, this is a major zone, right? But let's just say here, okay, in this zone, matter of fact, let me erase that. This might be a minor zone, right? It's only come here in this area. Matter of fact, it's not a minor. It's 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a major. Okay. So you gotta really look at it and do your research on what is your. First of all, you should already know if it taps it more than 2 or 3 times, that's a major zone. If it only taps it once, maybe even twice, depends on where it's at, how that candle look. If it's a wick hanging out of it, that might be a minor zone. Okay, so that's what you need to know already anyway. But that's support and resistance, and I'll save that for another video. Okay, so I go down to my different time frames and kind of see where my current price is to where I want to be. Okay, so this is where current price is here. Okay, so that's what current price is here. So now I'm on the daily time frame. I'm on the daily time frame. I got my monthly and my weekly zones up there, so I know where to be. So now I need to find out if I have some major structures on my daily. Okay, and I do. Okay, in this zone here, it's hit it a few times. It's broken the structure here. It's coming back down, right? In this zone. Okay, so you do this for your different time frames, and you go from up all the way back down till you get to the closer 1 hour, 4 hour, 30 minute, and you were starting to look for your entries at that point or when you should be getting in. But you definitely got to do your homework on your bigger, higher time frame zones. Okay, now another few tips that I want to give you guys is looking at your trends. All right, a lot of people like to use their trend line. Okay, a lot of people like to use their trend line. Now let's see. You go here, trading view, right? Trend line. And some people like to put it from the top of where they're at to where the current price is and see if it breaks. And, some people like to use them, the horizontal lines, like I just did, to see where my next zone is here. And a lot of times, if something breaks your trend line, that gives you a good sign of a BOS going into the zone where you might be expecting it. Okay. So they'll say, if it breaks my trend line, then that's when I start to look at reaction on where I need to be at and where I need to be getting in at. Okay. Now, I like to use my trend lines and my horizontal lines. That is something that I like to use. A lot of people do, but you just got to know how to use them. Okay. Another tip is my EMA, right? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes I don't use my trend lines because my EMA, right, my exponential moving average, gives me guidance on where the trend is going and headed and is currently doing. Okay. So the higher the EMA number, right, the more days of the flow of your currency pairs going in. Okay. So I put EMA there. My length I like is 200, right? Sometimes I use a 100, depending upon if I'm on a strategy or whatnot. But the 200 is the last 200 days of the flow of that particular currency pair. So I leave it on there, and I like to keep it on all my charts because it lets me know where I'm supposed to be. Now, I'm going to give you some tips about the EMA though, okay? I'm going to give you some tips about it. And you should know this if you're looking at this, but if you don't, I'll just let you know. Anything, meaning any candles that are under the EMA, you are in a downward movement, okay? Anything under the EMA, it lets you know it's in a downward movement, downtrend, okay? Now, if you have, well, let's see if we can find it right here. Yep. If you have anything above the EMA, you are in a what? A upward movement. Okay? So the EMA is a new little version of the trend line, right? So sometimes you might not have to use the trend line. If you got your EMAs on there, it'll give you guidance on what trend is that you're in. Okay? Now, another thing about the EMA is I like to show you this. This is what I show my people. When you have your candles that are literally going to that EMA, tapping it, hitting it, you got wicks on it, right? It's slapping it and it's bouncing off of it, meaning that once it hits it, it's back under it, it's back in it, right? That is a great sign that the market is about to shift, right? It is about to shift from what trend it was previously. Okay, it's like a little huddle that it does, right? A little consolidation or a little combustion huddle that it does. Okay, and it's kind of letting you know, hey, listen, look at me, I am here. I'm probably about to make a shift of a trend or a momentum shift. Okay, and so every time that you see the EMAs getting hit, you normally see after that a little combustion going on or consolidation as we call it, and then the move happens. Okay, let's see if we can see if I'm accurate on that, right? Every time that it hits the EMA, look, it starts a new trend, right? Hits it again up here, little commotion, little combustion, boom, new trend, right? EMA hit, new way of the momentum shifting. Okay, that is a good little tip for you to know how to look at your EMA, how to trade with them, and what it does and how it helps. Okay, now the next tip that I want to give you guys, okay, and I'm going to write them all down at the end of this video. The next tip that I want to give you guys is watch for your candles, okay? Watch for your candles, right? Whether you are using the doji, looking for a reversal candle, okay? Let's pull it up big, right? Whether you're looking for a reversal candle, okay? You see the pin bar here, gave you an indication right here that this reversal was probably popping off soon. Okay, this candle right there, nice little pin bar. Now, different doji candles mean different things, but you have to learn these candles. I know sometimes people say the candlestick Bible is boring, it's so many candles, but it's indicators that can help you if you want to be lazy, right? But you better learn those doji candles and those reversal candles to let you know what it is. And of course, you already should know what these engulfing candles mean. That means that the price movement in that zone, in that area is real strong, right? So you know your candles and what is popping off, what patterns is popping off. Because if you didn't know that this was a reversal candle, right? You wouldn't have known that was coming if you were here trying to look for a sell. Okay? If you didn't know that was a reversal candle, you would have still been trying to get in that sale. But guess what? The reversal candle lets you know if I'm in that sale, get out because a shift was coming. Okay? So you need to know those candlesticks and those doji sticks and all that good stuff. You need to know those, all right? Now, one thing about the candles I like to talk to with my people and show them is you can learn a lot about the close of a daily candle. Okay? You can learn a lot about a close of a daily candle. All right? Let's take this for instance. In this situation, hold on, let's get to it. Let me see. Okay, cool. Let's look at this one right here. Let me do a replay. Okay. Pull it up so we can see. Now, these are the last 3 days in this particular demonstration in this area, these last 3 candles. Okay. After each day, you see where it closes and it begins, and it closes and it begins. Okay. From these wicks and how the candle closes. A lot of the times, and I'm not saying every time, but a lot of the times you can kind of tell if that next day is going to be bullish or bearish, depending upon what the close of the previous day is doing. Okay. And then you can also tell if something is going to go higher or past the previous day as well. Okay. Now I'm going to show you a little trick that I sometimes do when I want to scalp and I want to go break the rules. I'm going to show you a little trick of what I do. Okay. If I looked at these 2 red candles here and I see this one closes here, right? It comes up, but it closes here. Okay. And then this opens right above, right in it, right? But that day comes and it closes down here. Okay. As you see, the wick here, it closes down here, right? Now, once I get to the next day and I begin to see that it comes up, it comes down here to this EMA line, this blue line. Remember, I said it's my EMA. And look, it taps here, it comes here that next day, and it comes right to my EMA, right? But I want to pull it up some more. This next day does not come all the way down to the liquidity area of this previous day. Okay? And if you can't see that, I'm going to mark it. Okay? That right here is the lowest that it went that next day. Okay? And then this right here is the lowest that it went the previous day. Now, let's just look at this. And this is something that you really need to look at. If I'm looking and I'm at this day and it gets down here and it does not go lower or low as the previous day low, once I stop and I begin to retrace, you can literally might be grab some of those pips going back up. Because if it's not low as the previous day, then what's happening? It's about to go back up, right? And so let's just say if I was looking at this wick and I looked at this wick and this wick ain't lower than this wick, I probably would have waited, until it came back up past the actual close of the previous day, and I would have pressed the freaking buy, right? And I could have really rolled it all the way back up here, right? But look, it comes back up here past the previous day, right? And this is another thing you can look at on candles of the daily close. Right here. It comes up here. This is the high of the previous day. Look, it's shooting past the high of the previous day. Okay? And after it shot up there, then it began to retrace. Right? But let's just say after it started to retrace back, if I'm back down from the previous day, why not put a sell there and ride it back down until it stops? Right? But it gives you previous day and previous open and closes and let you know what's going on. So I knew down here that this wick was not lower than here. Good indication that it's probably going to what? Come up some. I knew once it went past the previous day up here, if it don't stay up there, that's what? Let's ride it back down. Right? But now we have it stopping and closing right here. This candle right here. It closes right here. Right? Closes right here. So now I get to this day. And I see it shoots down past the EMA. Cool, right? But what happens? It's a wick. So it comes back up. Right? It comes back up. So let's ask yourself, well, if it's going back up from the EMA, why not grab a quick little what? Buy. Ride it up until you put your stop loss in the front after you're in profit and just ride it. Right? This is when you're breaking a lot of rules. Make sure you know that. Now, this is when you're breaking a lot of rules, but you're just grabbing some pips. Okay? Now, this doesn't happen all the time, but a lot of the times you're daily. I'm talking about daily now. So you're going to have to condition yourself to only look at this in a higher time frame. But a lot of the times when it gets to those little EMA levels and it starts to wick off of it, it is a nice little quick, risky trade that you can put in sometimes. Sometimes you just got to make sure that you read your market. I'm not telling you this happens a lot. I'm not telling you can do it every time. But sometimes you can look at your daily candle open and closing, and it can tell you a great indication about where you're going. Okay? I don't want to get too much into that no more, because then you'd be saying, Shanika told me to break all the rules. No, but guess what? Some people do break the rules. But I just always tell people, if you're going to break the rules, at least have some structure about you breaking the rules. All right? Now, know your candles is what I'm saying on that. Okay? Now, if you are looking for entries, okay? If you are looking for entries, you need to know where your highs and your lows are. Where is my previous highs and my previous low? Okay. If I am looking for entries, I gotta see my previous low and my previous high. When I say that, I mean this. Okay. Let's just say that I am looking for a sell. Okay. I am looking for a sell. My previous low is here. Okay, you see the candlestick closes here, right? It's the previous low area. Okay, this is not the previous low because these are sticks. Okay, these are wicks, right? I'm looking for closed candles. Okay, closed candles. And so this is my previous low. Well, if I say that I want to get in for a sell, I need to at least know where I need to figure out what my entry is. And you can't go lower unless you see another low, right? And so I am not going to touch this until I see this area broken because this is my previous low. I cannot look for a buy and I can't touch this buy movement or this up area until I see a high. Okay, because I can't go up the stairs to a new stair if I don't have any more stairs, or if it's still at the one step. And I can't go down the stairs, right? If I don't see any more downstairs, right? Or down steps. And so know where your previous low and your previous highs are, because that'll let you know where you should be looking, right? For entries at. Okay? I can't do anything until, let's get this, until I break here, right? I can't look, what? For myself, right? And until I break here, okay, till I break here, right? Break this what? High. I can't look for my buy until that happens, right? So know where your previous high and your previous lows are so that you know where you should be looking for entries at, okay? Now, when do you get in and out, okay? Or your target and your stop loss, okay? Let's talk about that. When do you get in and out, okay? Your targets and your stop losses, right? Now, be honest with you, your target should always be your next zone down or up from where you enter at. Okay. The zones are going to be where what? The price movement kind of happens and pops off at, where your cousins like to come and play at, right? That's where your target or your out should be, your first area. Okay. Now let's just say if I got in up here. Okay. If I got in up here, let's say I got in at this top line, right? And I'm looking down, and this is my next zone where price likes to play around at. Okay. So that's my target down here, right? This is my entry. And then your stop loss is always at the previous high or your previous high candle. Okay. And a lot of the times people say about a 15, 20 pip stop loss. It just depends on if you're intraday, if you're scalping, or if you are a swing trader. That just depends on you, right? But I would say if this is where I entered, right? This is my stop loss and this is my target, right? Why is that? This is where price likes to play around at my next zone, right? This is where I entered, okay? These are my previous high candles, right? So I don't want to be up here for my stop loss. That's too much. I'm trying to risk. I want to get a great ratio of a risk to reward, okay? So I am risking this little bit of area if it goes backwards to gain all of this. Okay? So this is how you should be looking for your target areas, where your stop losses is, how you get in and how you get out of your trades. Okay? Now, I am going to write down all the tips that we went over for you guys on the screen here so that you can have them and know some good old information that you should know when you are in the market. Okay? What did I say? First thing was first. Check your news, right? See what's going on with the currency pair. Grab a few pairs to analyze. Okay? Right? Grab a few pairs to analyze. Right? Make sure you can tell your trend and see if it is strong or weak. Okay? Then you're going to go from multiple time frames. Why is that, coach? Because you need to see the bigger picture on what's going on. Okay? Now, you're using your trend lines or your EMA, okay, for guidance, okay, for help to show you what the flow of your pairs are, okay? Now, what are your candles looking like, right? What are the candles saying? Reversal? or continuing. Okay? Now, the next one we went over was, what are your previous daily candles talking about? Okay? Know your previous daily candle. And what are they telling you? Okay? That's very important. Very important. Now, where is your previous low or high when you're entering? Okay? Where is your previous low or high when you are trying to enter? Okay? The next and the last was my target, stop loss, and entry. Okay? Know them. Know where you should be entering at. Know where you should have put in your levels. Remember, if you're entering, okay, if you're entering, you should make sure that you see your break of structure first. Remember we said that low can't be broken, okay? The low can't be broken. You shouldn't be looking at it until the low is broken, pretty much. But that low gotta be broke, or that high has to be broke before you even start to consider entering into the market. Okay. Once that area is right, you put your entry, your stop loss is what? The previous candle or the previous about 15, 20 pips above the previous high or low, depending upon where you're going. Your target is always the next zone up or down, depending upon which way you're going. Your target is the next area where price likes to hang out at, do a little commotion at, they like to chill at. That's where you should be targeting that area for your TPs, okay? So we're checking the news. We're grabbing our pairs to analyze, making sure that you what? Research them like you research your boo thing, right? We're making sure that you can tell what trend you're in, if it's strong or weak, right? You're going to your multiple time frames to see what's going on higher so you'll know where you should be headed to. Okay, you're using your trend lines, your EMA for your help, right? Give you that guidance, give you that flow of the momentum of where your pair's going on that. Okay, what are the candles is saying? Is it reversing? You got your dojis. Or is it continuating? Right? You need to know that. Okay, you know what your previous daily candles opening and closing is telling you, right? Is it wicking in an area? Is it tapping that EMA, right? You have to know these things. Okay? Then, what is the previous low and high, right? If it's making higher highs, we good to go. We're rolling. If it's not, hold on for a second because it's telling you something is not right. I am not trying to get any lower, right? Somebody's not in control anymore, right? So you need to know and spot where your lows and highs so you'll know where you should even be considering entering. I like to tell the people that I coach, we are reactors to this market, okay? We don't act first, right? We don't make the first move, okay? The market movers make the first move, right? Then we react to what we see happen, okay? So in that situation, like I'm saying, if I see a BOS, right? If this structure is broken, boom, the market acted. Now I know how to react. Okay. I can't make this market do anything it's not ready to do. That's where a lot of people lose money and they're not successful because they're trying to push it. They're trying to force it. They're trying to, overdo it. And you cannot. You have to be patient. If you don't have patience and discipline, stop trading right now. I'm just telling you the truth. Okay. You have to wait for the market to do what it's going to do. And then, and only then, are you supposed to react and know what to do after that. Okay? So, I hope you guys have enjoyed these tips that I've given you guys on analyzing and market structure. As I said before, I'm going to try to do some more to put out there for the world to help as many people as possible. As always, if you are looking for a coach that will, do what I do, help you learn the market. I am not here, and I am not a coach that gets in the game and do it for you, right? I am the coach that shows you what to do, how to look at it, how to analyze, how to make that money, and then you do that. Okay? If you are looking for that type of coach, as always, all the links are below. Grab them, get in touch with me. Let's have a free consultation. I always give 30-minute free consultation to anyone that wants to talk to see what's going on. Is this going to be a good fit for me? What can I take and what can I get from your courses and your live classes and the coaches that you have on your program? I talk for free for 30 minutes. Okay? And sometimes it goes over that, right? And so courses, books, classes, whatever you need, I'm your girl. Holla at you. They call me the money plug because all I do is go around this world and I help people and I show people learn how to make this money. That's all I do. That's my gift to the world. That's my calling. And I do it very well. All right. As always, hit that subscribe button so you can see what's going on this side of town. We will see you soon, y'all.